Hey, welcome
Okay.
to Business Shenanigans. I am Trent May from May Financial Group, and with me, as always, and Swerve, our special guest, Mahmoud Boutaam from Sprout Digital. How's it going, Mahmoud?
I'm good, man. How are you? I'm just watching the snow and feeling sorry for myself.
You want to be out playing?
I
So
will
we
have to later. Yeah, we're gonna go sledding probably.
okay. I'll definitely do that. So I thought it'd be fun to we're kind of getting back into we took a little holiday break on Business Shenanigans. I thought it would be fun to kind of get back into it by giving people a little more detail on you and what you do. I can't really talk a whole lot about what I do because of compliance and all that, and I'd have to get everything pre-approved. So instead of talking about me, let's talk about you. Um, so you
Would it
weren't.
would it work if I talk about what you do?
I'm not even. I don't even want to go down that trail. It's just easier not to. If people want to know, they can look me up. But let's talk about you. You weren't born, little Mahmood, the digital marketer and lead generator.
No,
Um,
no, I was not.
yeah. Tell us about the path that brought you from Morocco.
Mm. So born and raised in Morocco. I don't think I came here until I was 22. So that was like 15, 16 years ago. Um, I still feel like I'm in my 20s, but I was born and raised in Morocco, normal childhood in Africa, playing a bunch of soccer in the dirt and going to school and then once I got through college, I got my BA, and then that's when I had like a moment where it's like, okay, what am I doing now? I just got my BA. It's in English, literature, linguistics, all that stuff. So my next move was let me go somewhere where they speak English to just polish my English and work on it, since that's what I majored in. And I was also teaching and tutoring English at the same time. Actually, I've taken interest in English way early. Like I think 9 or 10, I started watching Cartoon Network and just really absorbed a ton of English, especially American English and American culture is really rampant outside of the United States. Like we grew up with all these like Tom and Jerry, all these cartoons and like
Do you have the Cartoon
Powerpuff
Network
Girls. And
app?
no, I do not. Is it free?
Yeah, you should get that.
Nice. I should probably do that.
Yeah,
Um,
I still love Cartoon Network.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it changed over time. My time was, Dexter's Laboratory. It was the Powerpuff Girls, Johnny
Hmm.
Bravo, the Warner Brothers stuff. So that's where I got a lot of my English growing up, like nine 9 years old through 14, 15. Um, then in high school, you have to pick a language. Mine was English. You can pick German, Italian, depending on your high school. But everyone has to take a third language. Actually, let me go back just a little bit. So you start with Arabic in school, first grade, and then third grade you have to take French because French is like almost a second language. And then in high school you have to pick a third language. That's why we always think, oh, why do all these people like speak all these languages and we don't here in America? It's because it's part of the educational system. You have to take these languages. There's no
And they hit it
choice.
early, so it helps stay. It's
Absolutely. Yeah,
easier.
especially French. French just starts at third grade and you're still third grade, you're still a sponge. Like you're still absorbing a lot. So that's why foreigners always speak a lot of languages because they're programmed that way. So high school, I took English, and then I ended up majoring in it in college, and then I decided, okay, now I need to go somewhere where they speak English. I didn't care. Australia, England, New Zealand didn't matter. Um, Luckily, the Moroccan government and the American government have a lot like of friendship and cooperation and all that stuff, and they have a bunch of scholarships. So they gave me a scholarship to come to the United States as an exchange student, but you don't get to pick where to go. I didn't care. So they throw me over to Lexington, Kentucky, the University of Kentucky. That's where I did my year. I loved it. That's where I met my wife. We started dating that year. And then they invited me back. So I had to go back home and spend 2 years and just like, after an exchange program, you have to go home for 2 years and kind of like do the reverse acculturation now, to bring whatever you learned here in the United States. That was part of the program.
Hmm.
You come here, you bring in all your Moroccan culture, and then when you go back, you bring in all that American culture over, and you acculturate with your back with your country. Um, I ended up getting invited back to do a master's, but this time in French. University of Kentucky needed like people to teach French, and it was a sweet deal. I got a master's degree paid for plus a stipend, and I got to teach at the University of Kentucky. So
Wow.
that was a deal maker for me because I kind of
Professor Mahmoud.
refused. Yeah, yeah, it was TA, teaching assistant Mahmoud. I did that and then finished that master's degree and then got engaged right after. And then we moved to Chicago. And I kept teaching French, teaching at a college and an academy. It was like a private academy. And then the cold kicked our butts. So we decided let's go down a little south, thinking that Ohio was going to be warmer. It's not.
No.
But
Might save a
compared
little bit of
to
wind.
right, compared to the wind chill in Chicago, it was brutal. I mean, when you turn on the radio in Chicago and it says, "Hey, don't like stay with your pet while they're going potty," like they cannot stay for more than 15 minutes outside. That's a big red flag. Like
Hmm.
when cold becomes life threatening, that's when you make the move and you move back to Ohio when it's less threatening. Um, so we moved back to Ohio, started, popping kids, and took advantage of babysitting. We have family all around here in Dark County and stuff. So that worked out pretty well. And then I moved to kind of corporate. So I went from teaching to training. So now I'm working corporate, doing training, which is close enough. Uh, but that really it empowered me to look deep into training. Like I was like, well, I'm helping all these people get trained and stuff. Like, what do I need to be trained on? Like, what is the next skill that I need? What do I need? So I took leadership training, communication training, went through the whole thing, and then I
That's
did
kind
some
of a
research.
personality trait of you, isn't it? Like you're always looking for the next thing to learn.
Yeah, yeah. I just like the next challenge, the next thing. I'm always looking for the next thing. So I did some research, and I was like, well, what is really hot right now? And digital marketing was like beaming. Like, ooh, this is a really hot niche. It's not going away. Every business in the next 15, 20 years has to be digital, at least digital. Um, so I was like, well, I might as well try it. So I took some training. I bought some additional training from some digital marketing ninjas, and I kind of like shortcut my way into digital marketing. But I still felt like a little imposter syndrome. Still felt like a little bit like a hack. So I was like, well, let me get a client. I got a client. Super happy. Got a second one, third one, and that's when I realized, okay, I think I have the tools. I think I'm ready. So I talked to my boss. He was super supportive. He helped me train the next person to replace me, and then I just phased out like slowly. I went from full time in corporate to part time, and I started adding clients on the side as I'm doing that. And the rest is history. Like from there, it's just been a lot of learning, a lot of training, and a lot of you know client acquisition. And I've been doing digital marketing ever since. Started with like website builds, managing social media, the regular stuff that you hear about when you hear digital marketing. And then I tapped into a niche that was pretty specific called lead generation.
Let's
You might
tackle each of those bit by
Sure.
bit here. So, what was the year that you officially launched Sprout Digital?
It was 2016.
2016. Okay,
Yep.
love this logo here.
Yeah, my wife made that. We were, discussing like what we should put for a logo, and like, all right, well, what do we do for businesses? We make them sprout because we were working for little businesses that don't even exist online. They have no footprint online. They just have, a storefront and a sign, and that was about it. So yeah, that's when the logo came from. It's making businesses sprout in the digital world, I guess. Um,
Really,
so
it's
yeah,
becoming more important for businesses to be digital than brick and mortar these days.
absolutely. Yes, it's more important to be digital than it is to be brick and mortar. You're right, because you're getting the foot traffic and the digital traffic are, worlds apart.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Especially with COVID. COVID kind of accelerated that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, web design, you know, easy stuff. We make sure that the website is not just going to be a pretty website, but a website that's going to give them some kind of results.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can do the Wix, we can do the Weebly little one page or whatever, but uh, we that's going to be more of a cost than an investment. We like websites that are going to be an investment, meaning yes, you're going to be spending a little bit on optimization. You're going to be spending 50% more than the average bear, than the average site that you get elsewhere. But we make sure that it's fully optimized, ready to hit the road, and it's bringing you clients, it's bringing you clicks, it's bringing you eyeballs, it's bringing you traffic. And from that, we thought we need a lead generation model. Since we already do SEO, we already do search engine optimization. We actually talked to a couple of contractors, and they were pretty fed up with the other services that offer lead generation, where you buy a lead, someone wanting to get a kitchen remodel or some backsplash, but that lead is also given to 4 or 5 other contractors. So
Mm-hmm.
there's all these bidding wars, and they end up commoditizing their service and like dropping the prices, and it's not good for anybody. So we brought a new model of lead generation where we work with one guy, like one contractor in one city in one niche, and that's it. We keep it super exclusive, super laser focused. So I work with uh, let's say Bob, the tree care guy who does just trees and lawns in Dayton, Ohio, and that's it. Just one guy. And then we scaled it from there. So now we work in home improvement, landscaping, hardscaping, all kinds of niches. Any niche that is phone driven, that people pick up the phone, they search, and they want an HVAC guy, or they want an electrician, or they want any phone based service can be a lead generation service. We can generate leads for that service. You just pick the city. I want, Oklahoma, and I want to do window cleaning. We go, we build the stuff, we run the ads, we do what needs to be done, and then we bring the customer over to the contractor, and then we figure out a win-win. We figure out a mutually beneficial relationship, I guess.
That's incredible. Bringing the people right to, because most people don't have the time or the ability to go out and try to get new customers. They're good at doing
Yeah.
what they do. They're not necessarily good at marketing or bringing in new clientele.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great point. And it is fine. It is fine for a contractor to stay in their lane and do what they do best. They don't have to jump into digital. If they have the help, if they have the time, sure. They can go work on their site, they can go do social media. But if it's a well-oiled machine and it's a running business and you're busy, stay in your lane, Mr. Contractor. Let the digital marketing people bring you the feet through the door. Um, uh, contractors are starting to pick up on that. So yeah, that is a really good point.
Also, one thing I love about Sprout also is you all are very, very big on the first impressions. So you will work on people's Google reviews because honestly, these days when someone gives someone a referral, they don't just go, "Okay, I'll call them." They pull out their phone and they Google them. And
Yep.
so you help with the Google reviews and then you help with the website. And those are people's, a lot of times these days, those are people's first impressions of a business.
Yes.
Their Google reviews and then the first page of their website. Do you agree?
Yep. Absolutely. We keep it pragmatic. We keep it practical. Uh, yeah, you could come to me as a contractor and say, "Hey, I want more digital marketing." I can say, "Yeah, let's give Google $3,000 a month and see what happens." That's not practical. What's practical is you start with the organic stuff, the stuff that you can do for free. So when people come to me and they're like, "Hey, but the budget is limited. I want to do some damage online." I go straight for Google My Business and reviews because these anyone can do. A 6-year-old can do it. Go create a Google My Business, which means put yourself on the map, front and center in your market. So now you're visible, searchable, findable, clickable, and then work on your reputation. So when people find you, they see something good. They're like, "Oh, 5 reviews, perfect score. I would like to work with this person." So on the off chance that that bad review comes, you've got some cushion.
Mm-hmm.
It's really disheartening when you see a business with a Google My Business that they didn't even build. It's just sitting there. It's not verified. And it's got one nasty review, like a
Mm-hmm.
1-star review, and it just sits there for years and years. They don't even know it's there. That's really disheartening because
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't reflect on the business. We all have disgruntled customers,
Mm-hmm.
and those are the only people that go and review you, unfortunately. No one goes, "Oh, I had the best experience," and they grab their phone. And yeah, some people do it, but we really review when we're mad, when we're,
That's
when we
so
want to vent.
true. I was talking to a dentist and um I pulled up her Google page because I was going to leave her a 5-star review just because I was talking to her and I like to do that.
Hmm.
And I noticed like she didn't have very many reviews. She has a nice practice, but like had 2 really negative reviews. Now you could tell when you read the reviews that it was really out of their control. There was really nothing they could do about it. But
Yep.
still, I was like, you have this nice practice here, and you have this like murdered Google page. Like, have you ever thought about asking all like your happy clients on their way out, like to leave you a review or something? And she was like, "Huh, yeah, I should probably do that." And so I actually gave her your name. You might be hearing from her soon. So,
Nice. Thanks for the referral, man.
yeah.
Always looking out. But yeah, I mean that's it. Like any business today has to have a media arm. You got it. Like one thing that gets me every time is when people say, "Hey, I don't like digital, not planning on it. I'm old school." And this can be a guy or a gal, by the way. Like, I'm old school. I don't do that. Like very firm, very binary, very black and white. Like just lose that attitude. First of all, lose that attitude. The world is changing. Learn something new. Okay. And if you don't want to do that, hire someone who's young, who lives on digital already, and give them that stuff. Don't be
Mhm.
resistant. Don't just say no, not doing that, because that's suicidal. Now you're trying to kill your business, actively killing your business. Um, yeah, either do it or and learn it, or give it to someone who can do that, like your kid or your grandkid. They're on their phones all the time. They can do the Google, they can work on the reviews, they can do all that stuff, and it's organic and it's free. And every review that you put out there is there for life. It's not going anywhere unless something happens to Google and it goes poof, which is highly unlikely. It's like a $1 trillion company. It's not going anywhere. So get those reviews, get the organic stuff, and then if you want to get more aggressive later, You can build the website, you can run the ads, you can spend the thousands of dollars on marketing, you can do all that fancy stuff. But start with the basics.
So you don't think that Ask Jeeves is going to take over Google?
Who?
Ask Jeeves.
SGs. Who is SGs?
That was like a way back in the day one. Like that was like a search engine thing. Like
Is it like Netscape? I remember Netscape.
that
I
like
think,
back
was
from
one.
like 56K dial-up days.
I guess I'm younger than you are.
Oh, I just got that
Woo!
sound in my head of the dial-up. So going forward, what is Sprout focusing on?
We're really focusing on lead generation right now, like US wide. We're hitting Canada too, and we're
So it's
getting
pretty
into new
successful for
niches.
you all.
Oh
Lead
yeah, it's
generations.
pretty very successful, even more than the other side, because it's a rental business. Like if you get a nice contractor who can take care of customers and who's quick on his feet or her feet, and you're supplying them with the leads and they're just closing and fulfilling and making people happy, it like that's a long-term relationship. That relationship is not going anywhere
Mm-hmm.
because we're staying in our lane and they're staying in their lane, and the we're we're complementary to each other. So we really love that model, and a lot of contractors need it, because right now when you go to a certain market and you go into obscure niches like not remodeling, but like I don't know, gutter cleaning, stuff that you don't even think about. I don't know, like septic tank cleaning, like those really obscure niches. Those guys are not even trying online. Like, and then you've got the customer looking. So the customer's looking here. The service provider does not have a good platform online, so there's a big gap in between. We come in between and we bridge that gap. We make those people meet, and we get paid. The contractor is happy because he's finding customers. The customers are happy because they have someone to come and quote them. They've been waiting for 3 weeks and no one is online. They can't find anyone. They have to go to the phone book to find these guys. So everyone's happy. It's such a win-win that it's scaling faster than we thought.
Wow,
And it could be anywhere. Like it can be literally anywhere. Pick a city, anywhere. If it's a phone-driven business, you can do lead generation.
that's awesome. So if people want to find out more about you, where do they go? How do they get a hold of you?
My name is pretty unique. If you just type in Mahmoud anywhere, my face will probably pop up. But yeah, check out the site. It talks about everything that we do. Sprout Digital. Sprout Digital is also on most of the platforms. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Yeah, just search me or search Sprout Digital, and yeah,
When we're
you can
done,
reach out.
when we're done, we put your links in the comments.
Yeah, absolutely, we can do that.
Awesome. Well, you're usually my co-host. Today you were a guest. It was good. It was good hearing your story. I love your story.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's I'm still looking for the next thing. We'll see.
Awesome. Thanks, bud.
Thank you.